Hello, friends. It's January 9th. My favorite guitar player is John McLaughlin, primarily because he plays in Mahavishnu Orchestra, which was my favorite band for a while. Still are one of my favorite bands in terms of just pure musicians. Um, but John McLaughlin specifically, every record that he played on that I didn't know he played on, I loved the guitar in, and then obviously the Mahavishnu stuff I knew he played on is some of my favorite music ever. So I'm gonna say how many tens John McLaughlin has because I think John McLaughlin probably plays on more like perfect records than any other guitar player ever. Um, just because of all the Miles stuff he plays on, and the Shakti, and the Mahavishnu Orchestra, and the solo stuff. Anyway, so I was just gonna go through his discography here. Extrapolation and devotion are both tens. Those are the only two. Devotion I like, and extrapolation I like. I like the early solo McLaughlin. Those are the only ones that I think are actually tens, start to finish, on the level with like Shakti and the Miles Davis. Uh, the one with Carlos, I'm not giving him. Guitar Trio with Aldemiola and Paco de Lucia. This is a 10. This is actually two tens. Because this album is a 10, and then also a 10 is the live Friday night in San Francisco. That is the same three people performing a lot of this material live and improvising on it. And they're both great. So that's that's for sure. Uh, Another two tens, I guess. And then he plays guitar in a silent way. In a Silent Way is one of the greatest albums ever recorded. It has It's About That Time on it. Just kind of Joe Zawinul's masterpiece. Zawinul was actually going to do a different arrangement for It's About That Time. So it's kind of ironic the song's called It's About That Time. Because, anyway, he was going to like make it into a more complete thing, and then Miles took like a draft of it and released it as the song, even though it was this like masterpiece Zawinul was working on. But yeah. Anyway, the guitar on that record is great, and it's played by John McLaughlin. You know what else has the most McLaughlin-y guitar ever? On the Corner, one of my favorite albums ever. And there's some guitar that's just like the most John McLaughlin, like the weird like because he's playing with like funk and like percussion and stuff. So it's really awesome to hear him in that context. That's just one of the best albums ever on the corner. Um, Tony Williams' Lifetime Emergency. Of course, Emergency's a 10. However many John McLaughlin, Tony Williams' Lifetime Emergency records he played on, which I think is three, are tens. Okay, so we have three Tony Williams Lifetime Emergency tens. We have In a Silent Way, Bitches Brew Live Evil, and Tribute to Jack Johnson. So we have five of the greatest jazz albums ever recorded, plus on the corner, six of the greatest jazz albums ever recorded, with John McLaughlin playing amazing guitar on them. Okay, so if it's six for the Miles, it's two for the Shakti. I don't need to look at Shakti. They had Handful of Beauty, and then they had the first one. So that's eight. Solo, there were three, I think. And then Mahavishnu Orchestra, Birds of Fire, Intermounting Flame. They don't have any other proper other albums. They have some unreleased stuff. Released stuff that was just like leftovers, or they did write some other stuff, but it doesn't sound remotely on the quality of the first two records to my ears. And the coolest stuff they've released is like the Trident Session stuff that they released recently. I liked listening to, but none of it's tens. So Mahavishnu has two tens. And then he already had like what? 8 plus 6. He's got like 15 tens. He plays on more tens than any. Name a guitar player who has 10, 15 perfect studio records that they played guitar on. And after you name me that guitar player, name me a guitar player who plays guitar better than John McLaughlin. My DMs are open.